Well,
it's kind of like the, you know, big coming out. It's on the news.
Right. You know, what kills me is Congress, about a month ago, was talking about the transgender right to work bill and the Matthew Shepard bill that were put in with each other, put together. You know, it's kind of, I got kind of irritated at it, you know, because it seems like everything for transgenders always gets lost in the process, and the gay community takes it over. You know, and that's no offense to the gay community, but I am just about it. It came up, they talked about it, and when they did, they kept calling us the sacred cow, pedophilia. Transgenders, because of our sexual orientation, you know, as if we're a bunch of baby rapists, and not the priests that really are. And I've uncovered a lot of them, and I brought the incident out about the priests in other states, plus other countries, with another person from England, and with the help of none. You know, and that really made everything all the way across the United States. I never expected lawsuits that came of it all. I really didn't want to see that. I just wanted these people in jail. See, I was raped by a priest right down here by the 19, under that one building on 15th and Nicollet.
Oh, well.
Many years ago. And you couldn't tell a cop, why, how does a guy get raped? No.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of misunderstanding.
Right. You know, and back then they would have beat the hell out of you anyway. You know, especially the police department. So no, you don't say anything because there's nothing you can do. You know, where now you can slowly start bringing things out. You know, but you know that what they attach that stupid thing like John Kerry attached it to the arm or that plane thing, so that when it went up to Obama sent everything back. Now they got it back in committee. Why put it in committee? You already had it in committee. You already did everything. You sent it right back with nothing attached to it. They didn't do that. Now it sits, the Matthew Shepard bill sits in committee. Hopefully, everybody's going to forget about it and we can push it aside. Nobody will know it's there. And that's what's going on right now.
Well, yeah, most definitely. And that's part of the reason why the whole G.L.B.T community needs to, you know, join together and with this fight. And it's more than just having the right to marry. You know, I mean, we're still dealing with these sorts of hate crimes going on, and it's like, well, you know, being allowed to marry isn't going to solve that. You know, and I'm not saying that I'm not diminishing the importance of that issue too, but there's a lot more serious issues that really need to start addressing, in my opinion. You know, these hate crimes are still going on.
Right, you know, the transgender can't get a job in most states.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have a right to work. You got a right to discriminate against a transgender. You don't have a damn right to go to work. Get out of this company, and you can't do anything about it. Take those clothes off. Put men's clothes on. Take those men's clothes off. Put women's clothes on. Back and forth, depending on what sex you are, you know, male or female. That's ridiculous. Where you in the gay community, you don't have that problem. Nobody knows who you are unless you tell them. So transgenders get all the hate.
Yeah. No, I can imagine.
From every community that comes up, something happens to and somebody doesn't like it, it gets taken out on us.
I can imagine internally between the G.L.B.T community too, because it's kind of like the dynamic of when you're confronted with this discrimination, a lot of people turn that discrimination onto somebody else and project it on somebody else. It's usually the most vulnerable. I mean, it's sad but true.
That is true.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually the most vulnerable. I just want to say something about actual, you know, the Somali community, that not all people are like that, but, you know, that they wouldn't act like that, you know, because sad thing is people see something like that and they incite hate. Is it recording again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I mean, and that's the biggest thing is that, you know, we don't act just like them. You know, because, I mean, it was like I was in that meeting with Mark Dayton, and one of the greatest things that's always stuck with me is something my father taught me. He's a very, you know, he's not a considerably complex man. You know, he's you know, It's just very simply, he said, you know, Adam, and this is when I was very young, he said, you know, there's good blacks, there's bad blacks, there's good whites, there's bad whites. You can't judge the whole group by what the, you know, a small amount of bad ones do. And you know, that sort of a mentality has always stuck with me. And I look back at my growing up or whatnot, I was never brought up to treat anybody, race, whatever. It's just not what I do. You know, and you see just, not even with race, within the gay community itself, how a lot of the interactions are very much it's not very supportive. You know, people talk bad about other people rather easily, you know, and it's just like, I never understood that, and that's not something I practice, you know. It's just, yeah, I always try, if I don't feel good about myself, I try to find out how I can fix that or whatnot. It's not, I don't take it out on somebody else, point out their shortcomings and try to belittle them, you know. And you know, I see so much of that getting passed around the gay community. It's just, it's sad to see, because, you know, for a community that's rejected so widely in the, you know, by society at large, to see them, that same sort of rejection go on amongst each other, it just doesn't make sense to me. You know, and that's kind of, you know, why starting this organization, Out Nation, is to help people break down these barriers, and the whole G.L.B.T community can come together. You know, and maybe we can start to understand each other, because within the, like I said before, within the community, there's so much diversity that, you know, there's not a lot of unification and solidarity. You know, and that's what needs to happen if we're going to make advances in this sort of, you know, in the civil rights, the human rights issues that we're facing. You know,
I agree with that 100%. I really do. Honestly, I think that the bisexual, the gay community, the lesbian community, and transgender community really does need to sit down and talk about the differences. Because sure, I've been on the gay community more than the lesbian community. Mm-hmm. You know. And then I'm not on them, and I'm helping them with gay marriage and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, I don't just pick on the churches. Mm-hmm. I pick on my own community too. Mm-hmm. You know, and a lot of people don't understand that. Then they think, you're prejudiced against gay males. You know, and really I'm not. You know, but they think it.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's best to have spokespeople within the respective communities speaking out, and, you know, just raising awareness. And I mean, I myself, I can only speak from my own experiences. Is that, you know, this incident has transformed me. It's really made me see the need to speak out and to stand up. And you know, and that's really kind of what you know, it woke me up is what it did. You know, and I don't know if a lot of other people are kind of in this slumber, this complacency, you know, and there seems to be a trend that we usually wait until a crisis happens, till somebody really maybe dies or whatnot, and then we rally around for a while, and then we go back to our little safe bubbles. Right. And, you know, and that's not a good habit to get into. And also the way we give money to advocacy organizations, and somehow, I know myself, I can't speak for everybody, but I myself would think that's enough.